everyone, how's it going today? My name's Eric and this is my son
Kyle.
And on this episode of Smo'King, we're going to be doing something special. Mom and little sister are out of town, so it's just the two guys in the house for the next 4 days. And I asked him if he'd want to help me with a cooking video. And I asked him, what is it that you'd want me to cook? Either one of your favorites that I've done before, or maybe something completely different. And what did you decide to cook?
I decided prime rib because he's told me it's really good and you can't get it from many places, and if you don't cook it right, it won't pop out good. So, like, I figured he made a lot of good things, but he'd make them a lot of times, so I figured let's try something new, and this is the only thing I could think of that was new.
Alright, well there you go. Kyle's beginning to like red meat. He didn't used to like it when he's younger, but since I've been cooking a lot of stuff, sous vide, you know, the perfect temperature, he's really starting to get a taste for it. So I figured let's do prime rib. He's never actually tried it before, so this is going to be fun.
First time.
First time. I had just over a 4-pound piece. I didn't want to go crazy. It's a 2-bone prime rib. And as you can see, very minimal ingredients. We got some rosemary, a few garlic cloves, I got some kosher salt, some black peppercorn, and that's it. So I'm going to show you how to do this step by step with the help of my assistant Kyle. So let's get cooking.
Hi guys, it's me, and we're going to simmer the garlic and rosemary. So I'm gonna put the garlic in and the rosemary.
Better turn that up just a little bit. There we go.
It's gonna be a little easier. And you just gotta let it simmer for a few minutes.
Yeah, we have a little olive oil. Whoop, be careful. And we just want to simmer this a little bit because it's going in the sous vide bag. So that's it. In the meantime, I'm going to start salt and peppering, seasoning the prime rib. We'll be back in a second. So while the garlic and rosemary are simmering in some olive oil on the stove, I'm going to season this up. I'm using kosher salt. Now don't be afraid that you're using too much because this is a huge piece of meat. And we definitely want to get as much as possible on here. It helps the meat tenderize a little bit. I'm just going to rub it all on in. So we'll...
That looks really good.
And it's going to taste even better.
What's the difference of kosher salt and normal salt?
Well, the kosher salt is a coarser grind. You can see the pieces of salt are much, much bigger. So
like normal salt's smaller than kosher salt?
Yeah, it's a finer. This is easier for sprinkling, and for certain things you want kosher salt. Alright, and then I got some peppercorn here, and we're just going to pepper it really good. Same type of deal here on all sides. And I'm just going to let this sit here for a few minutes. I got my sous vide bath here right next door. I got it set now for 137 degrees. And we're going to cook this a minimum of 6 hours. You can go all the way up to 12. That's a great thing about sous vide. But you know what? To me, 6 to 8 hours for this should be more than fine.
Just looking at this meat, my mouth is watering.
Yeah, it does look pretty good, huh?
Just in the between time before we get another clip of this and then edit together, I just look at the meat and I'm like, when is it going to be finished?
So what I'm going to do now is put this in a sous vide bag, and I'm going to seal it with the garlic and the rosemary that we're simmering to add a little flavor to the bag. So we'll be back in a few minutes once I've got this sealed up and ready to go in the sous vide bath. You looking forward to this, Kyle?
Heck yeah.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit, guys. All right, guys, here we are. I vacuum sealed it with my food saver. You can see I added the rosemary and the garlic. My sous vide machine is beeping. Like I said, 137 degrees. I'm doing that because it's going to be a little bit more than medium rare for my son Kyle. I don't think he's going to like it if it's too much on the rare side, but you can adjust the temperature. I think rare is like 131 all the way up to around 150 if you like it well done. But on a piece of meat like this, I wouldn't recommend it. So I sealed it all up real nice. You want to do the honors, Kyle?
What's that?
Put it in.
Okay.
Hold it like this.
I don't know how to use this thing.
Hold the top. And slowly lower it in. I'll help you. It's a big piece, heavy piece of meat. Woo. Let's try to get it completely underwater. Stand over here so people can see you. Whoops.
You Dad's like, how do I do this?
There we go. Okay. I'm going to start it now so it quits beeping. I got it set for 8 hours. We want it to go for at least 6. So, there we go. It's,
What's this I and O on the back of it?
That's the power button to turn it on. So there you go. We're going to enjoy the rest of our afternoon playing some video games. We're going to have some fun. I'll be back probably late afternoon for a beer review. And then we'll be back later to slice into this and see how it is. Are you looking forward to it, Kyle?
I picked the beer when we got the prime.
Oh, by the way, he did pick the beer, so it's a special beer review today.
We went to Stater Brothers, shout out to Stater Brothers, and we
What's the beer called?
We got the prime rib, and we got this one called I think it was called like Stardust or something.
Space Dust, I think it was.
Space Dust.
Space Dust. So it's an IPA. I'm looking forward to it, but it's a little too early yet. We're still in the morning hours here because this is going to take some time. But I'll be back later on this afternoon for the beer review. All right, Kyle, say bye. We'll be back later.
Bye.
All right, welcome back. Hovering at 1:37. It's got 3 hours and 3 minutes. I set it for 8 hours. So actually, I could take it out in just around an hour because then it would have cooked. But I just wanted to give you guys a look, see how it looks like after this amount of time. So, things are going good. We'll be back shortly. All right, it's beer review time. We're about ready to eat in a little bit. We're both pretty hungry. This is the one that my son picked out. Elizen Space Dust IPA. I guess he liked it. He said, oh, look at that Space Dust. So, I'm going to give it a shot. This is made in Washington, Seattle, Washington. It says they operate 4 restaurants and breweries in the city of Seattle. This is an IPA, 8.2% alcohol. So, I've never heard of it. I'm sure it's good. I'm going to find out right now. Let's see. Okay. Looks like your typical IPA. Kind of a gold color. Nice little whitish head. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Okay, I smell a little bit of hops, a little bit of a citrus smell, maybe like orange, tangerine. Here it goes. Cheers. Okay. Ooh, it's got a lot of flavor. Citrus flavor in the beginning, and then towards the end, you can taste a little bit of that hoppy, bitter aftertaste. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a bitter aftertaste. Maybe just because I'm not used to it. It's the first beer of the day. It's good. It's good. It's very fruity, like I said up front. Just a little bit bitter at the end. And it's definitely full flavor. I could definitely tell it's 8.2% alcohol. It's medium body and carbonation, but yeah, you can definitely tell with that bitter aftertaste. You can definitely taste the alcohol. Elizen Space Dust IPA. Again, cheers, guys. Thank you. I'm going to enjoy this. We'll be back, I don't know, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours when this is ready to come up, and we'll show you the next step. Cheers. Alright, welcome back, guys. There's 42 minutes left on the timer. I set it for 8 hours, so it's just about been 7.5 hours. It's done. So let me turn this off. Let's get this pulled out. Are you
I thought
excited?
I said it's 42 minutes.
Well, I set it to 8 hours. Anything over 6 will be fine. Whoa.
So when it was like an hour ago, why shouldn't we just took it out then?
Well, you know what? We were busy doing different things. Anyway,
All I
here
said
we
was
go.
walking
Let's get
around
this
the
cut out and
computer,
see.
so.
Ooh, what do you think, Kyle? We gotta save that. I'm gonna take that juice and make a au jus.
Does this mean we can eat it?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick it in the oven for a few minutes and then we're gonna eat it. It's gonna be delicious. I know you're hungry.
I'm hungry.
Alright. Let's see.
Can we eat it?
I have to get it out of the bag before we can eat it and slice it. Calm down.
I feel like I haven't ate all day.
Oops. Hey, I'm gonna try to
It
pull.
looks so good.
Oh.
That's what I'm gonna eat. So as you
I'm gonna save that, drain that.
So like a minute ago, you probably saw how it looked before we cooked it, and
Yeah, all we want to do now is just dry it off really well. How I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna broil it in the oven around 475, 500 degrees for a few minutes on each side just to get it crisped up. I have a tray here with some, with actually a rack to kind of keep it above, and yeah, we're just gonna broil it real quick. So let me dry this off. We'll be back in a second. Ooh, it looks good. It smells wonderful. We'll be back in a minute and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so what I've done is I poured the remains of that gravy in the bag, and I threw a little bit of the remaining rosemary that I had, the fresh stuff. And we're just going to simmer this, let it boil down a little bit till it gets thick, and then I'm going to add a little bit of beef broth. We're going to strain that, and that's going to become our au jus sauce. So just show you guys how quick and easy it is. Just let it simmer for a little bit, let it thicken up, get kind of thick and pasty, and then add the beef stock just for a minute. I'm going to transfer it over to another saucepan. And yeah, that's it. So let me work on this. We'll get that prime rib in the oven in a minute. Alright, I got it set at 500 degrees. Convention broil. If you got a convention oven feature, by all means. And we're just going to do like 4 to 6 minutes on each side. I'm going to flip it. We just want to get it kind of crispy. And that's it. Keep an eye on it. Keep it nice and hot. And flip it over. We'll be back in a second when we're ready to carve into this. Alright guys, here it is. Woo! Right out of the broiler. I flipped it on each side, like 3-4 minutes on each side, just get nice and crispy. Just let it sit for a second, mellow out. We'll be back to slice this in 1 second. Alright, so I already cut the bone section off, which is the top part. Save that for later. Man, that's going to be some good eating. But here we go, right here. Wow. Looks like it's cooked pretty good. So now we're just going to try to slice some slices. Take a look here. Ooh. Wow, look at that. Looks wonderful. Yeah, I think this is going to be good with that au jus. Wow. Let me get this plated up and we'll check it out in a second. Ooh, alright, there we go. A little of this au jus on top. Oh, man. Look at how delicious. Here's the finished product. Wonderful. I cut some pieces up. Kyle, here. I have some au jus.
which is
It's kind of like a gravy flavored from the juices off the meat. Here. Dip it in the gravy.
first I just try one, see how it tastes like. Obviously.
If you'd like to, sure, go right ahead. Look at the camera and tell them what you think.
Oh my gosh.
This is your first time trying it. Mm.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy good.
Here, now try it in the gravy. The gravy's not too hot. I know you don't like it too hot, but
do you think?
Heaven. Hallelujah.
Unscripted response from my 10-year-old son. Well, guys, as always, thanks for watching. I would definitely recommend this.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So tender. Wow. Very delicious. Thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Check back often. I'm always trying to put out some new videos. I appreciate you watching. Thanks again. Say bye, Cal.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.